you know, everybody, there's only a few successful guys in this industry, in this auction buying thing, and they like being top. And I tell them, hey, I'm going to go tell everybody how to do this. And I'm like, why did you do that? There's so many opportunities that you can't be afraid to tell somebody else how to do it. The more people that do it, the more popular it's going to become, the more people are going to sell their houses at auction. I've sold houses at auction that weren't already successful. If the entire room gets to the point where, if everybody in the industry gets to the point where that's the preferred method of buying, the industry will adapt to that. And everybody will be able to do it. Which isn't that.
Can you expand? You mentioned that auction.com is not going to provide title.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly when you're buying or when you're making the bid? So you feel comfortable that you're going to get title, or what does that mean?
Also, okay. There's a few other sources that are doing that as well. AZ Bidder is doing that as well. So auction.com is providing title. You go on, you click a title report.
We can't hear you back there. There's so much noise.
Yeah, close that back door. So all the sound's coming in through the back door. Have Carl come in, and then we'll close the back door. So, no, if I've never done it before, I certainly wouldn't feel comfortable clicking on a title report and understanding what it says, because it's legal jargon. You really should get a title company to come by your side, a lawyer, an experienced auction buyer, an experienced investor who understands how to read a title report, to read it with you. Just go through it 20 or 30 times. Go through 20 or 30 reports. Try to understand every potential nuance that can come up. There's only a few. Is it a first mortgage or a second mortgage? Are there liens that came after the Liz pendants, before the Liz pendants? If before the Liz pendants, were they served? Was everybody served? That's it. I mean, you really can break it down. Understanding title, you can really break it down into like 4 or 5 important factors. Just get a handle on that, do it a few times, and you can feel confident.
So they put a house up on auction.com. You have how many days to do your due diligence?
7. They usually put the house up. I mean, as far as I've seen, I don't look at it until a few days before, but they usually put it up 7 days before. They put it up, and you have 7 days. No, 7 days of bidding, and they advertise it 2 or 3 weeks.
It's up way
It's up for question after you have the offer accepted, after you're the highest bidder.
Well, that's the one you don't pay attention to, that's all.
What's
The
your
beginning,
inspection period?
yeah, what do you, like, this.
After you buy it?
I've never heard.
After she's the highest bidder and there's 1 week.
24 hours.
Before.
Yeah, go on there and look. Go on there and look. It'll have 3 sets of auctions for Broward County. It'll have one. This is the auction that's going on from 10:30 and ending on 11/7. And you can pull it up 3 weeks in advance. Take a look at it. Drive to the house, gather information, get ready for it.
You could do your title search at that point.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay. Buying on auction.com, there's two, as far as I know, there's only 2 types. There's clear title, which you don't have to worry about.
Right.
And then there's quit claim deed, which you have to worry about.
And how do you know it's a clear title? It says so?
It'll say special warranty deed. If it says special warranty deed, you're getting a title policy.
Do all the sites have that?
Every site other than auction.com provides clear title, except the courthouse.
Right.
Hubzu, Home Search, Genesis, all give you clear title. I mean, you could have just bought that house off the MLS for all they care. I don't know if you guys know, but these servicing companies, Auckland, Nation Star, they own pieces of these auction companies. The house could be perfectly fine and sell on the MLS in a day, but they're going to send it to the auction company because they make money. That's the way of the future. I mean, these REOs, which used to list hundreds of houses, now they're nowhere to be found.
Especially as a new investor, just tell me, what is the due diligence that you specifically, anything out of the ordinary that you would suggest that should be done?
As a new investor?
Can you repeat the question?
Due diligence.
What due diligence that he would do, especially as a new person in investing, and any specific little thing that, that you would do that probably not aware of?
New investor.
Yes.
New investor, I would want an easy deal, right?
It's an easy deal.
Easy deal, first of all, is vacant.
Okay.
I win a lot of occupied houses because I'm not afraid anymore, because I've experienced every nightmare you can imagine. But a vacant house is going to eliminate all that, okay? So every auction source will sell you occupied and vacant houses. Sometimes it'll say occupied, but the guy's moved out. And your due diligence of going there will tell you that. Once it's vacant, you'll know if it's going to be an easy renovation or not, right? So first vacant, then whether the renovation's easy or not, and then focus on vacant and easy renovation. You'll be fine. I mean, this is such a hot market right now that you can buy almost anything in an auction and make at least some money.
You go inside the house, or you have someone go in? If they're an agent and it's listed, you know, they can do that.
You knock down walls and everything as well, to be sure.
Just breaking the door.
I go inside everything.
So the amount of properties you're doing, you have some sort of automated process to do that? You have like macro or something, or how do you physically get through that many properties? Because the computer system, in my opinion, is not that fast.
Great question. On one specific auction source are you talking about?
In general, or
In general?
either way.
Okay, so structuring your time in a systematic format is key. I didn't get to my third value add, which is stay consistent. I can't even tell you how much money I've made just by showing up the day that nobody else showed up. I bought a house for $14,000. I sold for $145 last year. I bought an 8-plex last week for $5,000 in West Palm Beach. No joke, $5,000, an 8-plex. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked. Literally, all 8 units are rented for $650 a month.
Wow.
From the courthouse. It was in the hood. Well, $5,000.
Yeah, somebody will
My first one.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, no one bid. I mean, that was a perfect storm. Okay, the reserve was hidden, and the reserve was $100. The bank didn't want the property at any cost, and that happens sometimes. I bought a mobile home in Boca where the starting reserve was $100.
What was the judgment on that?
$797,000. And the bank got $5,000. They're legal. They just didn't want it. The owner was a you know, maybe the guy's in here, so.
Did you go online or did you go in person?
Every auction is online now. Every single auction that I'm talking about is online. It's very rare that you'll get an in-person auction. Maybe bankruptcy, that's it.
Can you briefly explain about the judgment amount?
Judgment amount doesn't matter. Period. So many people get confused. Okay, a judgment amount, okay, if I have a loan on a house and I owe the bank $100,000 and I stop paying, the judgment amount is the combined total I owe. After the $100,000 and after all the payments that I missed and the legal fees and the taxes and the escrow, judgment amount is 100 and whatever it is by the time the bank's done foreclosing on me. Here's the time it does matter. The time it does matter is when the judgment amount is lower than what I want to pay. Because that's basically a no reserve auction. That's, for me, that's a auction I know I can buy if I'm the high bidder. Does everybody understand that? I'm specifically talking about poorhouse auctions only, where the bank is taking a house back. Okay? The starting bid is always at the very maximum, the judgment amount. The bank can never ask more than what they're owed. Some people that owe a very small amount of money to the bank, they say, the bank's trying to steal my house. No, they just want their money. They can't even get more than what they're owed. So the starting bid is what they're owed, if nobody gets that. And so if you're a new investor and you want to buy at the courthouse, I've seen people do this. Just focus on the ones where you know the starting bid is going to be what you can pay. There's usually, on any given day in Palm Beach County, there's usually 1 or 2. And usually those sell for more money because more people can focus on them. And when there's more competition, people pay more. But that's fine because it still sells for a deal. The person who buys it still usually makes money.
Thank you for that good point.
Can you share with us what sources you go to, different auction.com and what others?
Yeah, auction.com, I've probably made the most money per deal on the deals I've actually bought because you can be more careful there. you got more time. Usually get clear title. Most often it's vacant. Homesearch.com is a big secret. As far as most people know, I don't even tell my competitors in Palm Beach County. I'm killing it on homesearch.com.
They're safe.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Hubzoo. Every once in a while, a lot of people that want to wholesale go after Hubzoo because you can bid it up and back out and there's no consequence. Yeah, you just win it and screw them and just say, eh. And you try to wholesale it if you don't wholesale it.
You walk me through the whole process as far as you identify a house.
I'd love you to do that.
Okay, so the question was, can you walk me through the whole process of how you identify a house, how you determine and how you bid and how you win on one specific
Auction.com.
Okay, auction.com. Auction.com ends on Thursdays usually. So they'll advertise a group of houses a week, 2 weeks in advance. Okay? You click a button and you download a spreadsheet. And then you got all the addresses. Then you personally go through and you look at what each bid is at. Okay, you do that 2 or 3 times before the day of. Sometimes, like he said, sometimes the day it comes out, the bidding's already higher than what I would even consider. I usually do a general value on every single one because you need a general value by which to calculate what you can pay. Right? So I'll say, this house is worth 600, the bidding's already at 500, not interested. Not enough of a margin. And maybe that's enough margin for some people, but I usually bid on 30% margin on dollar invested. So. By about an hour before the auction, I've narrowed it down to a few. Before that, I have all the research done for me. Like I pay somebody to go drive every house, I do title, that's all right there in front of me. So if you're just starting out, I mean, I have all that by which to make a decision, so it's easy. But if you're just starting out, you need to kind of determine which ones you're willing to do that for. Because again, back to my key principle, having the most knowledge is what allows you to find out of that whole haystack, that one needle that's gonna make you 100 grand on one house, which happens. It happens every single auction. One person will make sick money on one house. I watch it for years. So deciding how much time to spend on gathering information is really what each person has to do, depending on how much time they have in a day.
So after you made your purchase, you have to go to the title company.
They send you a they ask you what name you want to put the house under, and usually you can stall a day or two when you're for that. And that's when I can decide how I want to get it funded. You know, if I want to give it to an investor partner or hard money or whatever it is. So you put the title in, the name that you're going to take it under, a land trust, an LLC, your name. They send you a contract. After you give them the name, they send you a contract and with the wiring instructions. So you can sign the contract all you want and send it back, but they're not going to execute it until you wire your escrow. And usually you can buy another week, and you're kind of stalling that process. Not that I'm promoting that, but I do it. To close on it, the contract will have a closing date. Honestly, there's no penalty, and I mean, don't want anybody seeing this, but there's no real major penalty for not closing on time. They get all upset at you, and they may yell at you. But you could say, let's just say a week to 2 weeks after the closing date, you could probably stall it, especially with money in escrow. If you have money in escrow, they don't want to kill the deal.
How much escrow do you have to put up?
It's usually 5%. 5% of the purchase price, usually.
Chris, is there another
Last question, guys.
What?
Is there a follow-up?
Yeah.
What I can do is let him also off the hook if he wants. If you want more information, you can also go through BREIA. I'll probably give it.
ProdigyCap.com is my website, or through BREIA. I'm sorry.
No. It's totally up to you. I was trying to get you up. That was the last question. Chris will be available outside for some more questions. Thank you very much.